Most factoring problems are going to have the directions of factor, and that's all it's going to say. And it's going to be up to you to follow the steps to factor it correctly. When you look at this problem, you might think, oh, it doesn't start with a 1. It's going to be AC method. But this problem is not. You need to follow the steps in factoring. We've talked about them before. The first step is to make sure the problem is in order. Okay, and this one is in order. It goes from x squared, x to the first, and then no x. And the second step, if you remember, write it in your notebook, is to take out the GCF. And now when you look at this problem, you should realize that there is a greatest common factor between all three of these terms. What could I divide out of all three of these terms? And the answer is 4. So when I divide a 4 out of all three of these terms, let's see what's left. In the first term, I'd be left with x squared. In the second term, I would be left with 24 divided by 4 is 6x, minus 64 divided by 4 is 16. And now, your greatest common factor is going to tag along outside. This inside, this trinomial, we're going to factor, and we're going to factor it with a leading coefficient of 1. Okay, I like to call this the easy one, because we can go straight to the factors. We don't need to split up the middle term. We don't need AC. So let's drop down this 4 before we forget it. Let's draw the factors, and we need to find 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, since it starts with a 1, the first two terms are going to be, to get x squared is going to be x and x. The last two terms are going to have to multiply to give me 16. Let's list all our possibilities. I'm going to start with 1 and 16, 2 and 8, 3 does not go into 16, 4 and 4. We are looking to subtract those numbers, and when we subtract them, we want to get a positive 6x. So you see your answers are 2 and 8. The way to get a positive 6 is to have a negative 2 and a positive 8. Very similar to AC method, but we don't have to split up the middle term. We can go straight to our two answers. X minus 2, x plus 8. So once you take that 4 out as your GCF in the beginning, this becomes an easy one problem.